I'm not going to tell you you're all desperate because you are, and we all know that. And I actually get quite tired of saying it. It happens to be true, and it has been true for 25 years. But you've tried everybody. Everybody. And you failed. We're fortunate this week because we have, where's Peter? Oh, okay. We have one superstar in the making. You've seen me write about best deal I've seen in 20 years. Came down the pike, and he did it. And then the second best deal in 20 years, and he did that one as well. And he's been to the hardcore, and yet he's back again. And he's not here for free. He's paying, like all of you, other than the student and the one veteran that have special deals, because default's a bitch. And of the people that I've already talked to today, a few, I tell them in various words. I talked to one fellow Hispanic. He's fucked from the beginning. His family's just going to fuck him. I talked to one Jew from Israel. His family's going to fuck him. His whole heritage is going to fuck him. I'm not going to ask you how many Muslims we have in the audience, because Muslims are hard work. But basically, you're practicing an 8th, 9th century religion in the 21st century, so you're fucked. For those of you the only children, you're fucked. For those of you that come from big families, you're fucked. For those of you that are Catholics, you're fucked. For those of you that are agnostics or whatever, you're fucked. Everybody in this room will find a way to step on your dick and engage in self-sabotaging activities, just as you have prior to coming here. The only saving grace is that you're going to be able to play the financial orchestra as the conductor for the first time, as opposed to different instruments. But almost everybody in this room will not follow the steps, even though I'm telling you. There are certain rules that you have to abide by to stay here, or I throw you out. Some of you will break them. Not because, some of you will break them on purpose because you're engaging in self-sabotaging activity because you don't feel in your heart of hearts that you deserve any better. The reason why you've been a loser all your life is because you're a loser. You come from losers. Most of you should have dribbled down the inside of your fat mama's leg and never been born. You have not brought one bit of good to the world. None. And your 10th, 12th, 15th, 30th generation of not bringing any good to the world. So what are your role models? Who have been your role models? Losers! So down deep in the deep recesses of your little fucking pea brains, you know that, so hence, you have acted correspondingly. Yet somehow, you begged, borrowed, stolen the pennies to get here. Because you are hoping, praying, that I am the guiding light. And I'm not. One of you kids that I already talked to said, why are you here? You're looking for guidance. Well, you came to the wrong motherfucking place. You came to the wrong motherfucking place. I'm not here to give you guidance. Everything we're going to learn this week is on my website, free. Free. Everything. So why do you come? Well, we'll better ascertain that during the week. The only difference is, and it's not being associated with other high-performance people, because most of the people in this room aren't high performance. They aspire to be high performance, so that's hopefully what you all have in common. Your aspirations to be high performance. But talk's cheap. It takes money to buy whiskey, especially here in Scotland. And that's malt whiskey normally. But we have, as I told one of the Hispanic kids that I talked to this afternoon, we have got, machinists, welders, carpenters, regular, what they call in America, blue-collar workers that are filthy rich now, by your standards, filthy rich. 10, 20, 50, 100 million bucks. Not by my standards. We have virtually every ethnicity under the sun, or at least the ones I'm cognitively aware of. I'm sure there might be an ethnicity I don't know about that we haven't helped in all parts of the planet. East, west hemisphere, north, south hemisphere, you name it. There's certain areas of the world that it's harder. But one of the guys who has gotten two of the best deals done in the last 25 years has done it in an area that is hard. And he's done it. And you'll make your own judgment about him over the next week. But he's not Einstein. He doesn't look like Superman. I'm told that his native tongue, he's much more articulate than his English. Because English is barely his second language, although he speaks pretty well now. He speaks pretty well. And it's just by happenstance that he decided to come for this seminar. Our seminars are booked up for the rest of the year, through December. 8 months. And we have a waiting list. And we don't have, the demand is, I won't say 1,000 times because that'd be an exaggeration like Trump would say. Oh, I'm a big supporter of Donald. But it's certainly 500 times more than I can supply. 500 times more than I can supply. And as they say, I'm an overnight success after 50 years. Because I've been doing the same thing for 50 years. In fact, my 50-year anniversary is coming up shortly. Along with not the end of this month, but the end of next month, my 26th anniversary for giving seminars. The first seminar I gave was on the 23rd of May, 1993. But we will ascertain early on whether you really want to be successful. A new test that we give now, the Super Success Test, we have a 98.2% failure rate. 98. I thought the success test at 95.6% failure rate was bad. But the Super Success Test is fucking worse. 98.2% of the people, and you've all taken the test, don't want to be successful. Whereas the excuse you gave about, for example, the snowflake test, was that, I don't want to go to jail for hitting some guy with a lead pipe because he spit in my mother's face. Well, that's a fucking cop-out. We both know it. If he stabbed your mother in the fucking eye, you wouldn't fucking tune him up. Because you're a cunt! You got no balls! So we made a 21st century test. Okay, so you don't want to go to jail for beating somebody up. You don't want to go to jail for standing up for your own human rights. Okay, you're a vagina, but okay, let's do a new test to see if we can separate the men from the boys, the women from the girls. And it was the Super Success Test, and those questions are on a different end of the continuum. Those questions are you willing to miss your 16th birthday of your daughter, Sweet 16? Are you willing to do a deal knowing you're going to miss Christmas and have to celebrate Christmas in January? Those were the questions. And the results were fucking worse. 98.2% of you, let's call it 98, aren't willing to do a fucking thing to be successful. Work long hours. Not take your daughter to the fucking university in their first day because you got a deal closing. So the state of the world is even worse than I thought it was. And you guys and the couple gals that are here fall into that category. We're through. Notwithstanding my mentee, Brian QLA Rose puts a more positive spin on it. I'm trying to save humanity. Well, if you really think through a million permutations, there's saving humanity in there someplace. But it's not at the top of my fucking list, for sure. It's you are where you are because of you. You got nobody to blame but yourself. Now, indirectly, you can blame your parents that were no role models. Some of your stories you could do sitcoms about in this room. Some of your fucking stories about your family life. I have to, because I'm a grandfather, I have to keep myself from laughing when I read some of the shit you wrote me. And I realize that's only the tip of the motherfucking iceberg. When I say none of you should have been born, I'm telling you what the fucking Lord knows. We're going to go through it, not case studies, that's the wrong word, where one of the guys almost didn't get his weekly report in. Because unless you're dead or in a coma, the reports are due. I'll talk more about that during the week. And he starts out the report, and it's a big slide, which I show you. I had kind of a trying week. My brother stabbed me, stabbed my mother, ran off with my sister, kidnapped her. And that's the beginning of the story. That's not even the juicy shit. And he apologized for almost being late. And he's not the worst kid I've got. Stabbed his mother, his brother. Then he shows a picture of his brother. You know how when they show celebrities get arrested, they show the picture they have when they put him in jail? You know that picture they show? Well, he showed the picture of his brother that was put in jail. He looked like Jack the fucking Ripper, this kid. 20 years old. Of course, he's from Bunkfuck, Mississippi. Now, for those of you that are from the south of the United States, I don't cut you any slack because that's where I'm from. But strange shit happens there. Strange shit. We ready? Okay, YouTube. By the way, I want to thank Brian Rose for issuing my 5th interview 2 days ago on Easter Sunday. 5 years to the day that the first interview came out. And you've seen the change that I've done with Brian, mostly for the good, not all, but mostly for the good. And it appears that the interview has gone viral, if that's the right word to describe it. But I want to thank Brian. And we will tune in, YouTubers. There's a lot of special stuff that's going to happen this week. Thank you very much. Good night.